Hello, in this lecture we will find out the area of the blue triangle. As you can see in the drawing, we have a rectangle that contains three right triangles, and the areas of those three right triangles are given to us, and the rectangle contains also the blue triangle, and in order to find out the area of the blue triangle, we will have to know the area of the triangle, and after we will know the area of the rectangle, we will subtract from the area of the rectangle the sum of the areas of the three right triangles, and this will be the area of this blue triangle. Okay, we'll repeat again. The area of the blue triangle, the area of the rectangle minus the area or minus the sum of the areas of the three right triangles will be equal to the area of the blue triangle. Okay, so the only thing that is missing is the area of the rectangle. So, and as you have already know, the area of a rectangle equals to the length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle. So let's define the width of the rectangle as A, and we will define the length of this rectangle as B. So the area of this rectangle will be A times B, and after we will know the value of A times B, we will subtract from it the sum of the areas of those three right triangles that are given to us, and we will get the area of the blue triangle. Okay, so the width of this rectangle is defined as A, and the length of this rectangle is defined as B, and A times B is the area of this rectangle, and also we will define the base of this right triangle as Y, and the width of the length of the rectangle minus the base of this right triangle will be equal to the base of this triangle, that its area is 12 units. Okay, so actually Y minus B equals to the base of the right triangle, that its area is 12 units. In the same way, we will define the height of this right triangle as X. So the height of the triangle that its area is 27 units will be defined as X, and A minus X will be the height of this triangle. the width of this rectangle minus the height of this triangle equals to the height of the triangle that is area is 12 units. So A minus X is the height of the triangle that is area is 12 units. Okay? So in the next step we actually will create the formulas for calculate the area of those three right triangles. In general, as you have already know, the formula for the area of a triangle equals to the base of the triangle times the height to the base divided by 2. So this is the formula for the area. I will call to the area of a triangle A. So the area of a triangle equals to the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2. Okay, the formula for the area of a triangle is the base of the triangle times the height to the base divided by 2. That is the area of a triangle. So we will implement this formula in order to create the formulas of these three right triangles. We do know the areas of those three right triangles. The area of this right triangle is 15, the area of this right triangle is 20 units, and the area of this right triangle is 27 units. But we don't have yet the formula to calculate this area. So we will create the formula of those areas that we know the size of them, and this actually will help us to find out A times B, the value of A times B, that is actually the area of this rectangle. So by creating the formulas for compute the area of those three right triangles, we will be able to know the value of A times B, that is the area of the rectangle, and after we will know the area of the rectangle, we will subtract from the area of the rectangle the sum of the areas of those three right triangles that are given to us, and we will get the area of this blue triangle. Okay, so we will start to create the first formula for the area of the right triangle, that is area is 15 units. So the formula of the right triangle for the area of this right triangle that we know that is 15 units will be the base of this right triangle, that is y, times the height of this right triangle, that is a, divided by 2 according to our general formula for the area of a triangle. And this will be actually the area of this triangle. We'll call it A, but we do know that the area equals to 15 units, so we will immediately can write that A equals to 15. Or we can write again the formula that y times A divided by 2 equals to 15 units. That is the area of this right triangle. So the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2 equals to the area of this triangle, that is 15 units. And the next triangle that we will calculate the area of it will be this triangle, that we do know that the area of this right triangle is 27 units, but now we will create the formula to calculate this area. So the area of this triangle will be the base of the triangle, that is B, times the height of this triangle, that is x, divided by 2 equals to the area of this triangle. But we do know that the area equals to 27 units, so we can write immediately that A equals to 27 units. So we'll write again the second equation, that is B times x divided by 2 equals to 27 units. So the base of the triangle, that is B, times the height of the triangle, that is x, divided by 2 equals to the area of this right triangle, that is 27 units. So I will repeat again. The area of this right triangle is the base of the triangle, that is y, times the height of this triangle, that is A, divided by 2. And this actually equals to 15 units. And the area of this triangle equals to the base of the triangle, that is B. B is also the length of the rectangle, times the height of the triangle, that is x, divided by 2. And we know that the area of this right triangle equals to 27 units. So B times x divided by 2 equals to 27 units. And the third right triangle is this right triangle. We'll create the formula for this right triangle. So the base of this triangle, that is y minus b, times the height of this triangle, that is a minus x, all divided by 2, equals to the area of this triangle. But we do know that the area of this triangle equals to 12 units, so we can immediately write that A equals to 12 units. A is the area of this triangle. So we can rewrite this equation. Y times B, the base of the triangle, times the height of this triangle, that is A minus x, divided by 2, equals to the area of this right triangle, that is 12 units. Okay. the base of the triangle, that is y minus b, times the height of the triangle, that is a minus 6, divided by 2, equals to the area of this triangle that is given to us. It is 12 units. We can multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that y minus b times a minus 6 equals to 24 units. Okay, y minus b times a minus 6 equals to 24 units. 12 times 2 is 24. The next step is to take out x and y from their equations. First of all, we will take y out of the first equation, and then we will take x out of his second equation. So we'll start with y. The first equation is y times a divided by 2 equals to 15. Okay, this is the first equation. Y times a divided by 2 equals to 15. We will multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that y times a equals to 30. Now we will divide both sides of the equation by a. A is the width of this rectangle, so it can never be 0, so it is allowable to divide both sides of the equation by a. So y equals to 30 over a. After we divided both sides of the equation by a, we got that y equals to 30 over a. Okay, so we took out y out of the first equation. Now we will take out x of the second equation. The second equation is b times x divided by 2 equals to 27. Okay, this is the second equation. We will multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that b times x equals to 54. Okay, after we multiply both sides of the equation, we got that b times x equals to 54. Now we can divide both sides of the equation by b, because b is the length of this rectangle, so it must be a positive number. It can never be 0, so it is allowable to divided by b, both sides of the equation. So we will get that x equals to 54 over b. Okay, after we divide both sides of the equation by b, we got that x equals to 54 over b, and we have already know that y equals to 30 over a. Okay, so we took out x and y out of their equations, and in the next step we will substitute x by 54 over b and y by 30 over a in the third equation. Okay, so we'll do it now. The third equation is y minus b times a minus x equals to 24. Okay, this is the third equation. Y minus b times a minus x equals to 24. So we'll substitute y by 30 over a and x by 54 over b. So we substituted y by 30 over a and x by 54 over b. Now we will open the brackets in the third equation. No, I made here a mistake. Actually, the base of this right triangle is b minus y and not y minus b, because it is the length of the rectangle that is b minus the base of this triangle that is y. So it is b minus y So the third equation is actually the base of the triangle that is b minus y times the height of the rectangle, the base of the triangle that is b minus y times the height of the triangle that is a minus x, all divided by 2, and it is equal to 12 units. We can multiply both sides of the equation by 2, and we will get that b minus y times a minus x equals to 24. And now this is our correct third equation. We will substitute y by 30 over a and b by 54 over b. So it is b minus y, and y equals to 30 over a times a minus x, and x equals to 54 over b, all equals to 24. So this is the correct third equation. We substituted y by 30 over a and x by 54 over b. Now we will open the brackets. We will get that b times a is ba, or ab is the same, and b times negative 54 divided by b is minus 54, and minus 30 over a times a is minus 30, and minus 30 over a times minus 54 over b is plus 1620 over AB, all equals to 24. I'll repeat from the calculation. We actually opened the brackets here. B times A is BA, or AB, it is the same. B times minus 54 over B is minus 54, and 30 over A times minus 30 over A times A is minus 30, and minus 30 over A times minus 54 over B is 1620 over AB, all equals to 24. Now we'll subtract 24 from both sides of the equation. We'll get that AB minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 plus 1620 over AB equals to 0. Okay, we subtracted 24 from both sides of the equation. We got everything the same, but here we subtracted 24, and in the other side of the equation 24 minus 24 is 0. Now minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 equals to negative 108, so we will write it down. Okay, everything is the same. The only change is that we wrote that minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 equals to negative 108, and here we copied AB, and we copied the expression of 1620 over AB equals to 0. So here we can multiply both sides of the equation by AB. Okay. We will get that AB times AB is AB squared minus 108 times AB is negative 108 AB, and 1620 over AB times AB is 1620, and 0 times AB is 0. Okay, we multiplied both sides of the equation by AB, so AB times AB is AB squared, and negative 108 times AB is negative 108 AB, and 1620 over AB times AB equals to 1600 and plus 1680, and 0 times AB equals to 0. So we got here a quadratic equation, and the variable of this quadratic equation is A times B, and A times B actually is the area of this rectangle that we are looking for, and the general form of a quadratic equation is A times x squared times b plus b times x plus c equals to 0. Okay, so this is the general form of a quadratic equation. A times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. And A, B, and C are the coefficients of the quadratic equation. So we write it down. A, B, and C are the coefficients of the quadratic equation. Okay, and actually x is the variable that we are looking for. We want to find x in any quadratic equation, so x is the variable that we are looking for. Okay, and x is the variable that we are looking for, and actually we have a special formula that will help us to find out the value of the values of x, and the value of the values of x are called the roots of this quadratic equation. Okay, so I will write down the general formula for x. X equal to minus p plus minus square of p square minus 4a times c divided by 2a Okay, so this is the formula for x. X equals to minus b. A, b, and c are the coefficients of the quadratic equation. So x equals to minus b plus minus root of p square minus 4 times a times c divided by 2 times a. Okay, so now we will implement this knowledge in order to solve our specific quadratic equation. First of all, we will find out the values of a, b, and c in our quadratic equation, and also the value of x. I've already told you that the value of x is a times b, that is the area of the rectangle. So first of all, I will write again our quadratic equation. Is ab square minus 108 times ab plus 1620 equals to 0. So this is our quadratic equation, and now we will find out the value of a, b, and c, and of course, x. First of all, we'll multiply ab squared by 1. We can do this because whenever you multiply a number or expression by 1, you change nothing, so it is lovable. Is allowable. Now I will write below the general formula for a quadratic equation. So it is a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. So you can see that a equals to 1, ab equals to x, b equals to negative 108, x equals to ab, and c equals to 1620. Okay, so we will write it down. A equals to 1, b equals to negative 108, and c equals to 1620, and x of course equals to a times b. Again, in our specific quadratic equation, a equals to 1, b equals to negative 108, c equals to 1620, and x equals to ab. Okay, so now that we have all the data about our quadratic equation, we can use the general formula from x in order to find out the values of x that is equals to ab, or in order to find out the values of ab. Okay, so we will write first of all the general formula from x. X equals to minus b plus minus root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2a. Okay, this is the general formula for x. So in this way we will find the value of x that actually equals to a times b, that is actually the area of the rectangle. Okay, so we will implement this equation in order to solve our quadratic equation. So as you have seen, x equals to a times b equals to minus b equals to negative 108, so minus b is minus 108, that equals to plus 108, because minus times minus is plus. So here minus b is 108 plus minus the root of b square. B equals to negative 108, so b square is negative 108 square minus 4 times a is 1, times c equals to 1620, all divided by 2 times a, and 2 times a is 2 times 1, because a equals to 1. Okay, so here we have, okay, you can see again b square, b equals to negative 108, so b square is negative 100 square, and minus 4 times a equals to 1, so it is minus 4 times 1 times c, and c equals to 1620, so it is 4 times 1 times 1620, all divided by 2a, and a equals to 1, so 2a is 2 times 1. Now we do the calculations. So we have here a times b equals to plus 108 plus minus root of 108 square, or minus 108 square, equals to 11,664, minus 4 times 1 is 4, times 1620 is 6,480, all divided by 2. So I will repeat again. Minus negative 108 square equals to 11,664. Minus 4 times 1 is 4. And 4 times 1620 is 6,480. Now we'll calculate what is 11,664 minus 6,480, and we will get that a times b equals to plus 108 plus minus root of 11,664 minus 6,480 equals to 5,184, all divided by 2. Okay, We'll show it again. $11,664 minus 6,480 equals to 5,184, and the root of 5,184 is 72, so we'll write it down. A times B equals to plus 108 plus 72 divided by 2. So, as I already told you, the root of 5,184 is 72, and 108 plus 72 is 180, and 180 divided by 2 is 90. So the first answer is that A times B, or the first root of our quadratic equation, is 90 units. Okay, 108 plus 72 equals to 180. 180 divided by 2 is 90. So the first solution for A times B is that A times B equals to 90 units. That is the area of the rectangle. But we have to consider also the second equation, the second answer, that is 108 minus 72 divided by 2 equals to 36 divided by 2 equals to 19. So the second answer is 19 units. So the second root of our quadratic equation is actually 19, because the second answer is for AB is 108 minus 72 divided by 2. 108 minus 72 is 36, and 36 divided by 2 is 19 units. So we have the second solution for AB, that is 19 units. But the answer of 19 units is impossible, is not correct, because even this right triangle that the rectangle contains is 27 units, that is greater than 18 units, and the total area of the three right triangles that the rectangle contains is 54 units. So the rectangle itself must be greater than 24 units, because it contains three right triangles that their total area is 54 units, and it also contains the blue triangle. So the area of the rectangle must be greater than 54 units, so it cannot be 18 units. So 18 units for AB is incorrect answer. So the only answer that is left is that the area of the rectangle is 90 units, and as I already told you, we will subtract from the area of the rectangle the sum of the areas of those three right triangles. So it is 27 plus 12 plus 15. Okay, so the area of the rectangle minus the sum of the areas of the right triangles will equal to the area of the blue triangle that we are looking for. So it is actually 90 minus 54 equals to 36 units. So the area of the rectangle minus the area, the sum of the areas of the three right triangles is 90 minus 54. That equals to 36 units. So the area of the blue triangle equals to 36 units. You can write here the area of the blue triangle is 36 units. Okay, the area of the blue triangle is 36 units. So we can summarize the lecture. We wanted to find out the area of the blue triangle, and as I already told you during the lecture, the area of the blue triangle equals to the area of the rectangle minus the area of the three right triangles that actually are given to us. The area of the three right triangles is given to us, so the only thing that we have to find is the area of the rectangle, and then we'll subtract from the area of the rectangle the sum of the areas of the three right triangles, and in this way we will get the area of the blue triangle. So the area of the rectangle is the width of the rectangle times the length of the rectangle. So it is actually A times B. So the only thing that is missing is A times B. In order to find out the value of A times B, we actually created three equations that actually they express the areas of every right triangle, although we know how much the area of any triangle, we will create the expression for those areas, and we know that the area of the triangle is the base of the triangle times the height to the base divided by 2. So the area of this right triangle is the base of it, that is y times the height of the triangle, that is a divided by 2. So y times a divided by 2 equals to 15, and this, in the same way we can create the second equation for this right triangle, and we can say that b times x divided by 2 equals to 27, and in the same way we will create the third equation that will be the base of this triangle, that is b minus y, times the height, that is a minus x, divided by 2 equals to 12. So we created three equations, and then we take out x and y out of their equations, and we put them in the third equation. We put instead of x the value that we found out, and also instead of y we put the value that we found out for y, and In this way we actually created a quadratic equation that is variable with a times b, and the a times b is the area of this rectangle that we are looking for. So by solving this quadratic equation by the special equation for x, that is the variable of the quadratic equation, that is general form is ax squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0, and in our specific quadratic equation x equal to a times b. So by solving the quadratic equation with the help of the formula of x, we actually found out two values for a times b, that is the area of the rectangle. The second option was that the area of the rectangle is 18 units, but it is impossible because the rectangle contains three right triangles that their total area is 54 units, so the rectangle must be with area that is greater than 54 units. So we left with the only one option, that the area of this rectangle, or the solution for a times b, is 90 units. And after we found out that the area of this rectangle is 90 units, we subtracted from this area the sum of the areas of those three right triangles that equals to 54. So 90 units minus 54 units is 36 units, and this is exactly the area of the blue triangle that we are looking for. Okay, thank you very much.